Resilient minds, active voices, democratic futures. Welcome to YouthWell, the podcast where young people and experts come together to inspire change.
Hello and welcome to today's episode about European citizenship in youth work, where we dive into important topics shaping the lives of young people today. I'm your host, and in this episode, we're focusing on a theme that sits right at the heart of youth empowerment and democratic engagement, European citizenship in youth work. So, what does it really mean to be a European citizen in today's world? How can youth work help young people feel a true sense of belonging, not just in their local communities, but across the continent? And what opportunities are out there for young people to get involved, take action, and help shape the future of Europe? We will be unpacking these questions and more with our amazing guests who bring real-life experience and insight from the field of youth work, civic engagement, and European initiatives. Whether you're a youth worker, an educator, or a policymaker, or a young person yourself, this episode will offer valuable perspectives on how youth work can be a bridge, connecting local realities with European values and opportunities. So get comfortable and join us for this important conversation about what it means to be an active European citizen and how youth work plays a vital role in that journey. Joining me today are some fantastic voices from the field of youth work, each bringing unique perspectives and experiences in promoting European citizenship. Let's meet them one by one. Anna, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be here and hosted by Katerina and excited for your project. I am Anna. I am from Cyprus. I'm a social media manager. I also love secondhand clothes. I have my own secondhand shop. Yes, and I'm waiting for the next minutes.
Thank you, Anna. Andrea?
Hello, Katerina and everyone. It's an honor to be here with this great team and excited to hear everyone's insight on the topic. So I'm also from Cyprus. I'm a consultant by profession and a youth worker and active volunteer by passion. Passion about driving change, sharing knowledge, learning, and contributing to creating valuable experiences for young people and beyond. And my journey actually in youth work and community projects began back in 2017. And here we are today to discuss about how being active in the community can create the positive change we want to see.
Thank you so much, Andrea. And last but not least, Evie.
Hello, Katerina, and hello to everyone. My name is Evie. I'm also from Cyprus. Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm very excited to join this discussion with such esteemed guests. I'm the president of Cyprus Youth Diplomacy. I'm very involved in youth affairs. By profession, I'm a public policy officer. And I'm also involved in academia, more specifically in the concept of peace building.
Thank you all so much. It's lovely to be here with you and on this podcast. Before we dive into the main discussion, I would love to hear from each of you in one sentence, what does European citizenship mean to you?
For me, it's opportunities.
Thank you, Anna.
It's about having and sharing the same sense of belonging to something greater than our country's territories and borders. And basically, it's about understanding the privilege and the benefits that carry out as a European citizen with traveling, easy access to job markets, and beyond.
For me, European citizenship means a shared identity rooted in democracy, peace, and solidarity that is empowering young people to shape a more united, inclusive, and forward-looking Europe.
Thank you all for your opening thoughts. That was a great way to set the tone for our conversation. Now, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. To really understand how European citizenship plays a role in youth work, we first need to unpack what it actually means. So let's begin with a few reflections on the concept itself and why it matters, especially for young people today. To begin our discussion, I would love to hear your views on how we define European citizenship. Why is it important for young people? And do you think they really feel connected to it, or is it still an abstract concept for many?
For my opinion, I believe for some people it's clarifying and it's clean, but for some other people it's more abstract. The values of European citizenship for me is like they give you the opportunity to go out of your comfort zone, explore, and I am not only referring about, for example, Erasmus project or the projects that you can travel with and meet other people, but also because it's very easy for us just to show our ID and go outside of Cyprus and then meet new people and maybe start a new life. However, many people, because they don't have access, or maybe because they don't know, it's a bit abstract and unclarify what they can do about when while being European citizens, and how this European citizenship can guide you through your life.
Thank you, Anna, for your insights.
Building on what Anna said, it's about beyond the sense of belonging that we have referred before. It's about people acknowledging the importance of the EU. So if we take some statistics in the recent Eurobarometer, young people, 32% in particular in the European Union and 37% in Cyprus, state that the biggest strength of the EU is the freedom of movement. So why it is important for young people? Because they can benefit and they can take advantage of all the opportunities that are there for them and be part of something bigger beyond their borders.
Thank you, Andrea, very much.
So, beginning with the European citizenship, I would say it means having the rights and freedoms to move, live, work, and access services across the EU without discrimination, as we mentioned. And it's about belonging to a wider community beyond national borders. I would say that for young people, it's especially important because while youth remains a national policy area, the EU plays a significant role, and more specifically, a more supporting role. Concerning the question about the concept, if it's still too abstract, young people today show a mixed relationship, I would say, with European citizenship. And I will also refer to the European Parliament Eurobarometer. The 2024 survey indicates that 34% of young people primarily identify with their national identity, and 23% with their local community or region, while only 15% feel attached to Europe. In my own personal opinion, I believe that we live in a very critical point in time where European identity needs to be further enhanced and strengthened.
Thank you, Evie, so much. And it's really important also to mention as well what you have said, to go beyond national borders. I think it's a very critical aspect to consider. Now that we've laid the foundation for understanding European citizenship, let's shift our focus to how youth work plays a crucial role in bringing this concept to life for young people. Youth work is a key space where young people can engage with their European identity and actively participate in shaping their future. So, how exactly do youth work initiatives promote European citizenship? To start, I would love to hear your thoughts on what kinds of initiatives or programs really help young people connect with their European identity. If you can share any successful projects, initiatives that you have been involved with or know of what have had a real impact. And of course, no initiative comes without its challenges. What do you think are the biggest obstacles youth workers face when trying to foster a sense of European citizenship among young people?
For me, I would like to express my thoughts about the obstacles that the young people are facing nowadays. Because I'm coming from a small village and coming back to Nicosia as an adult, I understand how many things I haven't done. I didn't know that they exist because I was coming from a small village. So the obstacle that I will say it's about the marginalized youth, that they come maybe from not so developed cities, villages, but also the economical obstacle is something. And also if you're a refugee, immigrant, because it's like you are focusing in another things in your life in order to start doing something instead of searching about opportunities and searching about your rights in EU. So young people from disadvantaged backgrounds may feel excluded from the European projects or anything. And a thing of advice that I will give, it's like to think like more like a young person. Don't think like a 40 years old person who might not understand the challenges that they are coming today for the young people, but also be in the position and the shoes of those young people and how you would like to feel, to act in order to call yourself and take the advantage of the European citizen.
Thank you, Anna.
It's interesting to hear Anna's point here, which concludes on the fact that this lack of education and lack of, let's say, opportunities to receive education on that matter may lead to lack of connection with the European identity. And that was actually concluded during the recent EU Youth Conference in Poland during the 11th cycle of the EU Youth Dialogue, where young delegates shared their concerns on the topic, addressing the lack of education on EU values and the opportunities that the EU carries, which makes them feel disengaged even from this identity. So, coming back to the question about youth work initiatives promoting the European citizenship, even in Cyprus, like especially through the Cyprus Youth Council and other NGOs and organized even informal young groups and activities, we see that through storytelling, through workshops, non-formal education, and case studies, that young people can receive this information on how to be active in their communities and in democratic processes. So what young people are missing is this connection. It's the bridge between information, but the information should be presented in a way that is, of course, accessible and understandable to them, so they can acknowledge that they have the power to use their voice and use their ideas for something greater, for something positive in their communities.
Thank you so much, Andrea, for the insightful perspective on this.
I'd like to say those were very interesting insights from the two speakers. I would like to shift the question to a more practical perspective. I would say there are many challenges that youth workers face in fostering a sense of European citizenship, but I'll focus on the three main ones. First of all, there are challenges about defining youth work. There is a lack of a universally agreed upon definition of youth work across Europe. And this lack of a common understanding makes it also more difficult to create a unified approach to promote European citizenship. Secondly, youth work continues to face challenges due to its lack of recognition. Because without legal recognition, youth work struggles to be acknowledged as a key sector in fostering European values, active citizenship, and social cohesion. And lastly, there is also this lack of youth spaces. The absence of dedicated spaces for young people limits the reach and impact of youth work. Thus, we need more stable environments for engagement, building trust, fostering participation, and eventually promoting our European values.
Thank you all so much for providing these very insightful perspectives. I would like to stay on this and ask again if you can share any successful projects you have been involved, any initiatives or programs that really help young people to connect with their European identity, not just to focus on the challenges side, but also on the bright side of European citizenship in youth work.
For me, I believe it's a great initiative, the Youth Fest, that the Cyprus, how it is?
Youth Board of Cyprus.
Yeah.
Yes.
CAD. For me, it's a great initiative of the Youth Board of Cyprus that they are organizing every year Youth Fest, which is about a festival, a very interesting, exciting festival, inviting young people from all over Cyprus to come to Nicosia and learn about their opportunities of the European Union. There are a lot of NGOs there or other organizations that they are involving with Europe and European projects. Every year I'm trying to be there, either as a participant or just as a guest, because I like very much the atmosphere that there is there. And if you never heard of European vocabulary or anything, you can ask, you can just go there, find NGO or find a person from the Youth Board of Cyprus, and she can help you, guide you, and it's like a little door that you can open into this great European world that exists.
Thank you, Anna, so much for this additional points. Thank you all for those great insights. It's clear that youth work plays a significant role in helping young people connect with their European identity. If you have any other successful initiatives or challenges faced that you would like to address now, please, the floor is yours.
I would say, Katerina, that let's encourage people to look for organizations like EV's, the Youth Diplomacy, the Cyprus Youth Council, humanitarian organizations, community-based organizations, that they give the space for young people to implement their ideas and be active in their communities, even from the smallest to the most ambitious idea. And of course, educate themselves. There are multiple initiatives, 3-day summer conferences organized by the Cyprus Youth Council at the beginning of summer, youth camps by organizations like the youth section of the Red Cross, and other local beautiful organizations and NGOs that try their best to involve people in the community.
Thank you, Andrea, so much for the points that you have discussed. Evie, do you have anything else to add?
Yes, I agree with Andrea's points. It's very important to explore your local youth organizations and get involved with them. For example, as Cyprus Youth Diplomacy, we organize many events that promote this European identity. Moreover, we are proud certified partners of the European Parliament in supporting their 2024 election campaign. Another very important initiative is the House of Youth Representatives, which is the simulation of the House of Parliaments for young people. And I will say that it's important to promote values such as transparency, enhancing civic education, creating youth spaces, and support simulation initiatives for ongoing citizen participation and more consultation to strengthen EU decision-making processes.
Thank you all so much. It's really encouraging to see the impact these initiatives can have on citizens, not just here in Cyprus, but across the whole Europe. Now, as we move forward, let's focus on the next step, giving young people opportunities to actively engage with their European citizenship. The EU provides many programs for young people to engage with European citizenship, such as initiatives like Erasmus Plus European projects or the European Solidarity Corps. Beyond these initiatives, how can we encourage more young people to participate in democratic processes, such as voting in the European Union elections, for example?
I was actually 2 years ago, the Cyprus Youth Council organized the usual summer camp, titled this time, Are You Youth Voting in the Upcoming European Elections? It was before the EU elections last summer. So the aim was to educate young people, firstly with the terminologies, as Anna and Evie correctly said, about giving the context. And then we had some simulation, role-playing activities. So that is a great example of how people can understand, they can learn about the European citizenship in a more practical way. So for me, if you ask me how we can help young people, is to basically connect the dots. So it's about helping them realize how decisions made at policymaking level can affect their day-to-day life. So when they make this connection, they will want to have their voice heard.
Thank you so much, Andrea. Evie, if you have anything else to add?
I think everything was said perfectly. For me, I would just repeat what already has been mentioned. I believe it's very important to promote transparency. When you have transparency, people are more inclined to follow the procedures and other people. Moreover, another idea would be to lower the voting age, enhance civic education, and, as mentioned, create more youth spaces in order to promote inclusivity and exchange of ideas, and also supporting simulation initiatives which put theory into practice, giving young people the experience to elaborate on their ideas and upcoming initiatives.
Thank you, Evie, so much. Before moving and closing our wonderful podcast, I wanted to focus on one extra aspect of our discussion, and it's related to social media and digital platforms. Social media and digital platforms have changed how young people engage with politics and even their own identity. Do you think they help or hinder youth participation in European citizenship?
From my opinion, I believe they help less than they harm the European citizenship, because even if we want or even if we don't want, social media today plays the most important role in our lives. Even if you're a young person or if you are older, everything is surrounded by social media. So if we want to bring the young people close to European ideology in general, we have to do it through social media. And we saw actually this year that the MEP of Cyprus had been from the social media, actually, because it was like a social media famous person in Cyprus. That's why now he's doing this thing. I don't say if it's good or if it's wrong, but it's like an example how social media can affect and can bring together the young people. So we can use those platforms for a good way and with a respectful way, and not to overuse them, so we will have bad and negative results.
Very interesting insights. Thank you, Anna, so much. Andrea?
Exactly. Building on this point, we know social media is a space which actually has a big influence on young people's definition of identity. Scrolling down and receiving all this, bombarded by all this information that may affect their perception of what is right or wrong, belief of self, and others. So depending on the source of information, social media can do both, either help or hinder. There was, again, like in the recent youth survey of 2024, it revealed that the views of young people across the EU found that social media is the top source of political and social issues, with 42% of the respondents using social media, and 76% of young people, and this is important, believe that they have been exposed to disinformation and fake news. So here is where media literacy comes in. Of course, we can use social media to help youth engagement, but it has to be in the right way, as Anna mentioned. Having the right information, building critical judgment for young people through media literacy workshops will help them use social media in the best possible and most beneficial way of building their opinion around a topic that is the most objective one as possible.
Thank you, Andrea, so much.
Following from the two insights from the two ladies and building up on that, I think that digital tools and social media can both enhance and hinder youth engagement. They provide a quick access to information, platforms for discussion, opportunities for organizing and helping young people to connect with their European values. It was mentioned before that it's a way to enhance critical thinking, which is very important. During the 2024 European elections, Cyprus Youth Diplomacy, Cyprus Youth Council, and APLA created an initiative called Europoly, which was basically a series of episodes where we had candidates for the European elections in Cyprus. From Cyprus. So it was a very nice way to hear the views and opinions of each candidate so that young people would be informed of their views, which was a very good initiative. And it was with the help of digital tools and social media that it was promoted. Moreover, misinformation, on the other hand, can distort information, which makes it harder for youth to engage meaningfully. So there's two sides to the coin. It depends how we use it and how critical we are of the information we receive every day.
Thank you, Ivy, so much. It's really great to hear that a lot of initiatives and ongoing things here in Cyprus. Moving forward, I would like to thank you. This has been a great discussion. But before we wrap up, I would love to ask each of you, what is one piece of advice you would like to give to youth workers who want to promote European citizenship? And of course, for our young people listening, what's one message you would like to leave them with about being an active European citizen?
I would like to give an advice for the young listeners that are listening to us right now, because I have been in that position and I know pretty much how it sounds. Maybe it sounds something like very far from you or something like you don't understand it. You don't need to understand everything. You just need to find one person that can guide you, can go with you and show you how the things is going and what you can achieve, what you can do with the benefits that you have as a European citizen. And just go out of the world and you will find a way. Because sometimes we just need to go out of our comfort zone to see what there is outside of our door.
Thank you, Anna.
So for the youth workers, one piece of advice will be to stay curious and informed, but also independent and neutral, meaning that youth workers need to understand what matters and what concerns young people so they can deliver workshops that are impactful and meaningful by engaging them into dialogue. And actually, giving them the space to connect with European values and connect their experiences with European values. And of course, for a youth worker, I believe it's best to during the workshop to drive to allow the space for the dialogue, but stay as independent and neutral as possible for the group to feel safe to express their opinion. And for the young listeners out there, about being active European citizens is to use their passion as a driver to participate in the community. And I'll give an example. So someone is passionate about the environment, about zero food waste. They can take this passion and make it as a driving force to organize projects, initiatives that are around this thematic area and have this ultimate goal.
Thank you, Andrea, for these very lovely advices given to our audience today. Evie?
I will keep it short. I would say for the youth workers who want to promote European citizenship, to create experiential learning opportunities that connect young people to the values, rights, and responsibilities of being European. And one last message to the young listeners about being an active European citizenship would mean to use your voice to shape the future of our shared Europe. We don't have to wait for the change. We are the ones who started.
Thank you all for such a fantastic discussion, and thank you to our listeners for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to share it, follow our project and podcast series, and stay engaged in shaping the future of European citizenship. Until next time, thank you.